This channel is all about learning simple habits that teach you how to optimize every single aspect of your lifestyle, nutrition, and motivation levels so that you can lose the weight faster and so that you can keep the weight off permanently. And for this video, we're gonna focus on one simple habit change that is gonna focus on both of those things. And this habit has to do with weight training. Now, I recently did a video on should you lift weights to lose weight? And the answer is yes, you should lift weights. But there was something that I didn't cover in that video that needs to be covered today. And this particular weight training habit is gonna help you see faster results, and it's gonna make the maintenance phase a lot easier for you. And this particular technique or execution that we're gonna be talking about today is a fundamental component of bodybuilding. This is something that you're gonna hear a lot in the bodybuilding community. So if you're trying to lose weight and you're hearing the word bodybuilding, give me a second, let me explain, and I'll tell you exactly how you can apply it so you can see those results. So this particular technique that I'm talking about is known as progressive overload. And progressive overload is the action where every time that you go to the gym, you're gonna have the conviction and the mindset that you're going to try to lift heavier than you did the last time. You're progressively overloading more stress in your muscles. So every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks with a particular exercise, if it's squats, biceps, lateral pull downs, it's this conviction where you're gonna try to lift a little bit heavier than you did last time. So you're either gonna try to lift 5 more pounds, or you're gonna do a couple of more repetitions than you did the last time. And the purpose of this, of progressive overload, is so that you can put more stress in the muscle. But this is a good kind of stress because this is a kind of stress that stimulates muscle growth. And without progressive overload, it's after a while it's almost impossible for your muscles to grow because you don't give them that requirement, that need for them to want to get bigger. And so this is very popular amongst the bodybuilding community because this is what helps bodybuilders get or people that are building muscle, get bigger muscles. Now, when it comes to weight loss, you're probably wondering, well, how does this apply to weight loss? And it all has to do with your metabolism. As I mentioned in previous videos, your metabolism, which is in simplest terms, your body's ability to burn and require energy, is mostly dictated by your muscle mass. So if you are able to stimulate more muscle, if you're able to grow a little bit more muscle mass, guess what? You're going to burn energy/fat at a faster rate, and you're going to require more energy to maintain, meaning that you can eat a little bit more. So it's imperative that you apply some form of progressive overload in your routine, because I see this a lot with people that try to lose weight because, of course, the focus is weight loss, and it's no fault of theirs, is they never focus on if they're doing lunges or squats, they squat the same weight, they curl the same weight for 6 months, and thus their muscles don't grow or they don't get toned. So starting today, you have to have this conviction where anytime you go to the gym, you're gonna have a journal or you're gonna write it down, and you're gonna be mindful of what you lifted last time so that you can have the attempt to do a little bit more. Of course, you want to be safe about it. You don't want to lift 20 pounds more. You want to do it in small increments. And like I mentioned in that previous video, if you don't like weight training, try to at least do it once or twice a week. You don't have to go 5 times a week. I recommend that the best strategy for weight loss is that you do 2 hours of some type of high intensity interval training activity where you're having fun, like salsa dancing, soccer, basketball, anything that you enjoy, swimming, ice skating, something that is fun to you, but you want to pair that up with at least a minimum of 1 or 2 days of a weight training session lasting 45 minutes to an hour. Now, of course, if you can go for 3 to 4 days and lift weights and then do cardio, that's even better, but you do have to incorporate some type of weight training. And when you do, make sure that you are incorporating this progressive overload technique where each week or every 2 weeks, you are mindful, you have the attitude, you have the conviction that, okay, I'm gonna lift 3 more pounds on the squat rack. I'm going to, instead of doing 3 sets of 8 to 12 on the bicep curls, I'm gonna do 3 sets of 10 to 14. It could be the same weight or it could be higher weight. But you have to make sure that you're doing this because it's gonna help you in the long term. It's going to boost your metabolism. It's gonna help you burn fat at a faster rate. And in the long term, when you build muscle, you're gonna require more energy. Now, usually men don't have an issue with this principle, but some women usually tend to be a little bit cautious because what I hear back is, well, I don't want to turn into the She-Hulk if I'm lifting too heavy, etc. And that's a totally fair concern to have. But what you have to keep in mind is when you're trying to lose weight, you're in a caloric deficit, you're in an energy deficit. And in order to build big amounts of muscle, which is probably what you're thinking of, you have to lift, you have to eat more than what you're burning. And if your focus is weight loss, that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to build some lean muscle, but it's going to look toned. It's going to be, I mean, you're going to be putting on maybe like 3 or 4 pounds of lean muscle mass in a year. And if you think about what a pound of muscle looks like, that's not a lot. So if that's your concern, hopefully that's been addressed, and that if you're a female and you're trying to lift heavy weights, it's not going to turn you into a professional bodybuilder, especially if you're in an energy deficit. So bottom line, make sure that you incorporate some type of weight training routine in your exercise activity, and that when you do, it's vital that you incorporate this principle of progressive overload, and that you're not just lifting the same weights and doing the same reps, the same sets every single time, because then your body is not going to have a reason to change, or your muscles are not going to have a reason to grow, and thus you're not going to boost your metabolism as much as you potentially could. So hopefully you found that video helpful, and if you did, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because I do a lot of videos like this where we focus on little habits that lead to lifelong sustainable changes for weight loss, and I'll see you on the next one.